No,
Oh, man. Yeah, man. Okay, so welcome one and all to another edition of the Gym Rat Pack Does Entertainment with me, Larry Olubami Wall. To my right,
Captain Custard Cream,
otherwise known as
Damien Ashley,
and to my left,
Mr. Cookie Dough,
Caramel Choo Choo,
otherwise known as
Mr. L Rock.
Yeah. So we're here to give you, as actors and gym rats, our perspective on everything entertainment, but especially movie and TV. And today we've got a doozy. So let's dive right in. And the first topic that we are going to talk about is Tom Holland. Now, he's saying that he wants to leave Spider-Man at some point quite soon. And he's actually saying that, quoting him, that I if I'm playing Peter Parker at 30, I've done something wrong. I got a lot to say on this.
I've got a couple things to say myself.
Yeah, I bet you do.
He's got 5 years left because he's only 25.
And he looks bloody 16.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's read the article. And
Who's it come to us by?
this article
Yes.
comes to us via IndieWire.
IndieWire.
Right.
IndieWire reputable?
Yes, I think they are. Right, Tom Holland has starred as Peter Parker / Spider-Man in 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe films. But his upcoming 6th go-around as the web-slinger in Spider-Man No Way Home is expected to be his most gigantic MCU outing thus far. That's because the No Way Home plot breaks open the multiverse, allowing villains from every previous Spider-Man film to collide into one timeline and setting up another decade of potential sequels and spin-offs. Will Holland be back as Spider-Man? Probably, considering a post-credits scene in Venom Let There Be Carnage, all but guaranteed a Sony tentpole pitting Spider-Man against Venom. But for now, No Way Home is the end of Holland's current Spidey contract. Maybe it's time for me to move on, Holland recently told GQ magazine. Maybe what's best for Spider-Man is that they do a Miles Morales film. I have to take Peter Parker into account as well, because he is an important part of my life. If I am playing Spider-Man after I'm 30, I've done something wrong. Comic book favourite Miles Morales made his film debut in Sony's animated Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, one of the most acclaimed superhero movies of the last decade and an Academy Award winner for Best Animated Feature. Fans have been clamouring for years for Sony to bring Miles Morales into the live-action space. Let me go into more. Even if Holland is already eyeing life after Spider-Man, Sony sure as hell do not want to let him go. As Spider-Man producer and former Sony boss Amy Pascal told GQ, I've talked to him about doing like 100 more of these films. I'm never going to make Spider-Man movies without him. Are you kidding me? Yeah. He talks some other bollocks, to be honest with you, but
I read the rest of it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to put it to you, Leon. What do you make of that article and what he says about, yeah.
Well, I think some people are just overprivileged to start with. Overprivileged. You get one of the best roles in the world. And, he looks young. He can do it. Why couldn't you do it at 30?
He could conceivably play Spider-Man for another 10 years at least.
Yeah, because of how he
really
looks.
can, yeah.
It's not like back in the day, Greece, when everyone's supposed to be 16 and John Travolta was like 36 or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that. It's not that. Like, Why wouldn't you want to carry on?
I mean, I have my own theories.
Does he want to do something else?
I think...
Is he scared that he's going to get typecast and when it is all over...
Possibly.
That he's stuck?
Possibly. I mean, look, as with any actor, like we know, as we are actors, we want to be challenged with different roles.
Yeah.
But my thing is, with Spider-Man, as you've put it, it's probably one of the best roles ever.
Yeah.
Because you are constantly being challenged because each film is different from the last.
Yeah.
So I can't see how you could be bored playing Spider-Man. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. But then doing anything over and over again gets boring.
Yeah.
Like if I really look at it, I mean, he's sitting from a position, like I said, of privilege. You know, like he can afford to say, "I'm done now."
Yeah.
How much has he made from 5?
He's set for life.
Right.
He's
set for life.
He's set for life.
His children are set for
they're
life.
set for life.
So he wants something different. And
I can't blame him.
at first I was thinking, you know, but I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't want to do the same thing for 5 years. I'm an actor. You want to sit in EastEnders for 5 years?
Yeah, but come on, dude.
I know,
That's
I know.
apples and oranges.
Honey oats.
That's apples and
Brookside.
oranges. I mean, personally,
Yeah.
let me tell you this now. If they get me be Luke Cage,
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that until the wheels fall
Yeah,
off.
okay.
Until
he blatantly
because
can't walk no more.
because I am a
Luke
comic
Cage.
book head,
Yeah.
and Luke Cage is one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yeah.
I'll be very happy to play that until
Yeah.
the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To the end of your career.
Right. I'm very happy to do that.
Okay.
Will the next man want to do that? Probably not. So I do take his point in that maybe he might be bored with the character. There's some other issues as well, but let me put it to you first, Damien. What do you make of that article and him saying this?
I mean, Leon's point about, you know, he's speaking from a certain position. I agree with that, but at the same time, he has been doing this for over 5 years now. When you look at it, like what he did his entrance was 2015.
With Civil War, yeah. Yeah.
So 2015 was his entrance. He's been doing it for 6 years. By the time this comes out, it'll nearly be 7 years going into next year because he's obviously going to be in a film next year with Spider-Man makes an appearance.
Yeah.
He's saying by the time he's 30, so that would at least be
Well, he's 24 now, isn't he?
25.
25, okay.
So by the time he hits 30, that would have been nearly, 12 years in the same character. So by
So
that
maybe
point,
he's just planning his exit
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not instant, I'm not doing anymore. It was,
Yeah.
I'm
'cause
planning
it's like
it.
into my 30s. It's like,
Yeah.
because I'm looking from that standpoint.
I'll see what you... But to say you've done something wrong, I just feel it's a bit strong, isn't
But
it?
what did he say? No, he said, I'll be doing something wrong if I'm still playing in my 30s.
Yeah,
'cause
his exact quote was, I've done something wrong if I'm playing Peter Parker at 30.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why he would say.
'Cause I
Well, unless he's really bored of that character, or he knows that at that point he will be bored of the character and he's got other things that he
Well, it's his
he
twofold.
wants to do.
Unless he imagines himself to probably look too old at that point, because he's probably thinking, like, depending on where I want to go with Peter Parker, because you got to think it's been re-envisioned 3 times now in less than 20 years. You know, so, I mean, there's no other, I mean, you could possibly say Batman, but even then, without George Clooney was like 96, you can't really discount that film, but like all those films, Bat Nipples, like, you know, that was over a span of 30 years when Ben Affleck stepped into it.
Yeah.
But like Spider-Man's been rehashed quicker than any other main like film, like superhero.
Yeah.
So maybe he's thought, you know what, because at this point he would have probably done it the longest.
Yeah, that's true.
This is his 3rd main film, which Tobey Maguire did 3.
Yeah.
But he's also done Civil War. He's also done 3 Avengers movies now. So he's done the character 6 times.
He hasn't done 3 Avenger movies.
Civil War, Avengers.
You're choosing Civil War's like a mini Avengers movie, yeah.
So like he's made 6 appearances as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So he's done the most out of all of them.
Yeah.
He hasn't made the most. I mean, in comparison, I think Maguire's rated at like 75 million, his net worth. Whereas Holland's currently, I mean, if it was on paper, he's currently between 15 and 18 million net worth.
Okay.
So
50 and what?
15 and 18 million net worth.
15?
Yeah. I thought it would have been more.
I think it's more
between
than that.
15 and 18. That's what he's rated at. the moment.
Where did that come
The
from?
two articles straight away, the top 2 that come up. It's not common actually on the website, but the top 2 come up say he's between 15 and 18.
I never trust those sites. How do they know?
They say that he's way more than Garfield has. Garfield's rated at 13 net worth.
Yeah,
But Maguire's rated a lot more.
I never trust those websites. How do they know?
Yeah.
They're not privy to anyone's contract.
But they obviously base it off of box office revenue and everything else.
Come on,
I know.
They say I'm worth a couple mil, and
know.
I can tell you this now. I am not. Yeah.
There's actually a net worth for me, which I find hilarious because
Wow.
I don't have a net worth.
Wow.
Unless you count like the amount of times I appear online with not money. But yeah.
This brother's worthless. Just like the rest of us.
Why I've even got a network?
So please like.
idea.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're worth.
It was worth.
If we're worth a like, please just press a button. No, though. Press a button. Like, please.
I mean, look, there's also I will take into consideration the fact that with these big tentpole films, there is a hell of a lot of promotion.
Yeah.
And they must get bored.
Yeah.
Seriously bored of that. I mean, we're talking months away.
Yeah.
Traveling all over the world, just talking
on the breakfast
and you got
TVs, the midday TVs.
Yeah.
And he's probably had the least break of all of them because his Spider-Man films were one of the last ones to come out.
Yeah.
And he's done 3 of them in a short space of time.
Yeah.
So the other ones have been stretched out since 2009?
That's right.
So he's had the breadth of that. Pretty much.
He hasn't had much of a break. It's true. He hasn't.
Not that we're saying you deserve a break because you're 15 million, but at the same time.
But I can see his point because going on traveling the world, going on talk shows and interviews.
What life?
I know. But it can get to the point where you just think, sod this. I'm done.
Yeah. I don't actually have to do this.
Yeah.
When you're in a position where you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
That's
just like any job.
Yeah.
Any job.
Yeah. It's the classic, who's the boxer?
Marvin Hagler.
It's hard to get up and run when you're sleeping in silk sheets.
Yeah. When you're sleeping in silk sheets. Yeah, which I think my man Anthony Joshua's suffering from, but here we go. Yeah, but it is true, and that is very true. You know, when you're hungry, you've got no money.
Yeah,
you're ready to bust your ass. When you're comfortable, you know, it's like
when the hunger pains are settled. You know what I mean? When the hunger pains are settled,
man.
The fight,
Because I've seen his enthusiasm when he first got the role, and he was talking about his audition process, and he was talking about because he was a former gymnast. He flipped onto the start mark, and they were just so impressed by it. And, and that's how he got the role, basically, you know. Right. And now it's come to the point where it's just like, if I'm playing it, at 30, I've done something wrong. So,
I understand it.
I get it. I mean, I see where he's coming from. I mean, everyone's different. So let me ask you a question. If you, because we can't play Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Well, but if you,
I'm already too old. I'm 35. I can't do it now.
But if you could play that. And would you ever get bored of that?
So I'm not in the situation. It's a problem. It's hard to give. I can give a hypothetical.
Yeah, it's a hypothetical.
Because in my current position, I'm not wiping my ass with $50 bill. I'm wiping my ass with whatever I can get from Tesco's for £1. So I'm not in that position. But I don't know. I think as an actor as well, I think when you look at his body of work, what he's just been recently, like Cherry, which he just done, which is like some avant-garde kind of military film.
Uncharted as well.
Uncharted. But he's also done that weird The Devil Within Us, whatever it's called.
I've not heard
like he's gone out and done some very kind of different films, kind of really kind of take himself away from the Marvel universe and the clean cut image of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Would I want to be stretched at some point as an actor?
Yeah.
I mean, if you are an actor who wants to do parts, yes, you want to be stretched.
Yeah.
If I could still do it and enjoy it, I mean, Hugh Jackman managed to do that for so many years.
Yeah, he just didn't enjoy working out. That was his only thing.
That was the one thing.
Fair enough.
If you're not a gym guy, you're not a gym guy. You know what I mean? And I have to respect the hustle because for a guy who didn't enjoy working out, he got in some bloody shape.
He put the work in.
You know what I mean?
He did what he was supposed to do.
Man. So, I'll take your point. Leon, let me put it to you. I know, a dream role, maybe a comic book movie part, or even the part that we spoke about,
I think, now I have to put myself in the shoes of how old was he when he got the role?
Who?
Tom Holland would have been 19.
19.
Something like that.
So 19 for 5 years doing the same thing.
That
age.
From that perspective.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, if I'm 19.
Yeah. You don't want to just keep doing the same thing. Because at 19, when you've got such a great accolade so early, everything else sort of just, I want to do that now. I want to do that. I want to go to the theatre. I want to be in this.
Yeah.
You want to do other things.
Yeah.
I think as my age, I will grab it with two hands
and run with it.
and I will run until the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Until they're like, Leon, you can't do Spider-Man, like you're grey all over. Like it's not gonna work. And I'm like, please, one more.
Stop turning up to set
Yeah,
on
stop.
your blimmin' retirement bus transaction fund. And like,
I just in my frame.
You know what I mean? You're
That's like,
gripped
that's
now.
like me and Damien at 90 trying to do martial art films.
Yeah.
No, you lot.
Yeah.
No.
Trying to
No.
Steven Seagal. Like, no. So,
well, I could, because there's nothing for the legs done anyway.
yeah. for his age, I get it.
Yeah,
For me,
yeah,
I would
didn't
grab
consider
it with
that.
two hands and never let go.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, never let go.
Yeah.
Never let go.
I mean, even if I wanted to do other things, I mean, I would just ask for a bit more of a break in between each film.
But then there's the thing, is he allowed, is it a point where is he's allowed to come into what he can say and can't say?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
at what point can
it
he
obviously
say-
depends on the contract, but I think that he's at the stage now where he's made him so much money. As you heard, Amy Pascal, she does not want to let him
You
go.
can make it to your 95, just keep bringing
Do you know
this.
what I mean? She does not, so she knows he's got a certain amount of power now where he can say, right, I want this, and this. And I think they'll have to bend.
Yeah.
Because they know, like, because I think for a lot of people, like we were talking about our favourite Spider-Man, and obviously I mentioned Tom Holland being my favourite, and I think for a lot of people he's their favourite.
Yeah.
And I think she knows that.
Yeah.
So,
But in saying that, because of this multiverse, depending on how it ends, what Spider-Man's left, you don't know how they're going to try and... Because it could be a random Spider-Man, like all the other Spider-Mans are dead or something,
Well, see,
and they've left this one.
Who is
this?
you
And that's
saw-
the entry to
but
the
you-
new Spider-Man.
But you saw in the article that he
Yeah.
mentioned about Miles Morales.
That's what I was saying to you in the trailer. Like, I think that
Yes.
this could be the perfect opportunity.
It could
The segue.
It could be
The segue.
because Miles Morales, as you saw with Into the Spider-Verse, is a very popular character.
Yeah.
And you got to think. Sorry, go on, finish.
No. I was just going to say he's extremely popular. But
Yeah, I was saying, like, how did they introduce Spider-Man? They didn't introduce Tom Holland's one. They didn't introduce him in his own film. They introduced him in Civil War.
Yeah.
Then he came in.
Yeah.
Best way to introduce Miles Morales, multiverse.
Yeah.
Bring him in and then give him his own film.
Yeah.
Because then everyone's going to want to see his own film afterwards.
Now he's got my juices flowing, thinking that Miles Morales is going to be coming.
It was the same thing with Black. It was the same thing with Black Panther. The moment you saw him in Civil War, you're like, "When's the film coming out?"
Yeah.
When's he
As soon as I saw the trailer with him in it,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Where's the tickets?
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money."
Yeah.
It was one of them ones.
Count it forever, straight away. Count it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely a case of shut up and take my money. And it will be the same with this Spider-Man film. I can't wait to see this film. This is why we're all going opening night, people. But yeah, let's see how this unfolds. I mean, you make a very good point, Damien and Leon, about the age thing. And I think, if I'm at his age, because at that age you think you're indestructible.
You are.
You
It
think
was
you-
handed too early.
You just think,
For you to appreciate it.
I can leave this and I'll find something else,
Yeah.
Whereas at our
And he
age,
will.
yeah, and he
yeah,
will
yeah,
because
he
he's a
will.
fantastic actor.
Yeah.
I'm a big Tom Holland fan, I have to say.
Yeah.
But at our age, we're like, no, this is a sure thing. I want this, and don't worry about the rest.
And when they kick me out, I'm directing. You know them ones. Like,
Just keep that money rolling
Yeah.
in. I got kids to feed.
that's it.
Oh man! But anyway, so yeah, let us know what you think of this. Would you expect Tom Holland to go on past 30? Do you agree with him that if he's still doing it by 30, he's done something wrong? Who's your favourite Spider-Man? Garfield, Maguire, or Tom Holland? Let us know in the comments down below.